Hmm. Welcome, everybody, to Stress Reset. I'm James. I'll be your host for today. We thank you, as always, for joining us for Community Fit, and hopefully, you feel better at the end of today's class than you do at the beginning. Regardless of how you feel now, hopefully, you feel even better. Okay, we're going to get started today. We're going to have a very similar class to what we had on Wednesday with a little bit of expansion. Sometimes these concepts, these practices need a little bit of repeating. So I want you to get comfortable, lie down, sit down, stand up, be in a chair, whatever works for you. We're going to go through some of our physical practices, some of our nervous system warm-up stuff to get started. Which kind of opens us up to the possibility of change. And then we're going to go through some of our body awareness practices and end with some of our mindfulness practices. So as we move along, if something feels ultra important for you to pause at, if you feel, this is the thing that I need today, stay there and sort of marinate and play with that. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by bringing our hands together, getting them nice and warmed. And then we're going to bring those nice warm hands onto the front of our throats. Take a deep inhale. And an exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Take in an inhale. Let out a sigh for your exhale. Maybe even let your posture shift with that. Inhale. Two more. One more. Right hand goes onto left throat. Big, heavy right hand drags to the middle as I twist my face to the left. Other side, big, heavy hand drags to the middle. Big, heavy hand. And one more of those. Big, heavy hand. Going right into the jaw, a little jaw massage. Now, as always, if you've been through Stress Reset for a number of weeks with me, if massage doesn't work, if you're a tapper, a holder, a pincher, puller, do what you know to do. If you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, you can email and get all of, well, we have some of the previous recordings on the website, but you can always email us and get all of the recordings. Stay tuned for the end of class and Alicia will announce where and when to email. Good. A little face tap. Can turn into some body taps. Legs slapping maybe. And then maybe just put your hands on the front of your legs and just kind of touch your skin. Maybe you touch the skin on your legs. Maybe you want to touch the skin on your arms or across your chest or back area. Maybe you want to touch your face or the top of your head, just without thinking about it too much. Where is the place on your body that is calling to be touched, loved on, caretaken, acknowledged? And then we're going to take our hands and just kind of rub the belly a little bit. And then for today, we're just going to turn our head to the left. Turn. Look for something behind you. Take a look at it. Appreciate whatever it is. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, come back to your center. Other side. Twisting. Take a look at whatever you see back there. Again. One more. Right into our orientation practice of just noticing things in the room. Objectively viewing, meaning if I named it, there would be a plant and another plant and a water bottle and a fire hydrant and a mirror, a chair, a reformer, some electrical plugs, window, door, computer, clock, cup. And I'm just naming the things that I see in the room. Now, if that doesn't work for you, let's add in some different versions of orientation. You can have your eyes opened or closed, but I'd like for you to listen for sounds you hear in the room. I can hear my aromatherapy diffuser. I can hear the water bottle adjusting. I can hear outside noises, my breath. Good. Then start to name maybe some things that you are touching or that are touching you. Could be your clothing, your hair, could be your arms touching your legs or your legs touching each other. Could be what you're sitting on touching you. And then for some people, these are a little more nuanced because we're used to really blatant and bold. What is one thing you can smell right now? This sort of gets into the realm sort of like wine tasting or flavor noting, because certainly maybe someone out there is eating a watermelon or a peach or some cheese or Doritos. I mean, I don't know what you're eating, but maybe it's that. Maybe it's that blatant. But for most of us, it's sort of like, what is this flavor I taste? Maybe it's metallic. Maybe it's sweet. Maybe it's sour. Maybe it's neutral. What's the thing I'm smelling? What's the thing I'm tasting right now? And then turn inside of the body. What's this thing that I'm feeling inside? Just kind of note those things, orienting yourself in your current experience, not what's going on in your head. What is going on in my body? What information about the world is coming in through the body? Then from there, pick your hands up, shake. Let them shake, 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 shake. It's like you're shaking off stress. And then let's go into some of our body experiences. On Wednesday, we started from the legs up. We are going to end with the legs. So if you have been with me several weeks now and you're like, I know I need to do the leg thing, go ahead and do the leg thing now. If it's like I need to do the arm thing or the belly thing, go ahead and do it now. I'm going to take us through the full process. You don't have to do the full process. You have to do what feels right to you. So if you're like, I don't know what feels right, follow me along on the journey. If you do know what's right for you, which hopefully if you've been coming every week, you know by now, what are the practices that help you? Go there, do those. For the rest of us, put your hands behind your head. Open up your elbows. Hopefully someone out there is already doing leg work. Hopefully someone out there is already doing the belly exercises. Opening up. Make your eyes look to the left. Hold until you feel a swallow, a different way of breathing, your stomach digest or gurgle, or you just feel like you relaxed a little bit. Just your eyes get to shift. My body just did a big sigh, so I'm going to now look to the right. I can't tell you when you've adjusted. I don't know. That's for you to figure out. Takes me a little bit longer over on the right. Just had a swallow. There I am. I'm going to take my hands, bring them together, gently pull till I can feel some shoulder blade contraction. From there, I'm going to gently pull on one side and then gently pull on the other. It's like I'm activating left shoulder blade and then right shoulder blade. Here's the thing. If you're like, I hear what you're saying, James, but I don't know how to interpret what it is I'm feeling, that's a perfect time to book a private session with me. And you can do that at jamescrater.com. If you want to know more about these practices or how to integrate them into your life, look there. Then I can go a little bit lower. I can go a little bit higher. You can just kind of swing them. Some shoulder rolls. If you're picking up tension through here. If it's like, oh, stay here, do that. If your body is saying, thank you for seeing me here, you know that's your practice. You can take and kind of rub on the collarbone. If you haven't noticed it yet, aren't these new CommunityFIT t-shirts very nice? Some little shoulder rolls, maybe. Then go ahead and lie down. Lying down, we're going to get right into some of the belly releases. I can take both hands, place them on top of where I believe my stomach to be. Upper abs, low ribs. Gently pushing on the water balloon of the stomach, and then release. A gentle push, and release. A gentle push, and release. There's a gentle push. I'm going to go to the left, down, and to the right. What I'm looking for here is an area that feels important. Maybe it feels tender or bad or really good to touch. I'm just going to be here, holding that area, gently pushing down until I feel a swallow, a different kind of breath, a release, a stomach gurgle, something that lets me know that my body is like, oh, I like this. I'm going to self-adjust. I just had a breath, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to stay here now. Big sigh, moving on. Now, if this practice feels really good and important, stay here. If you want more, little circles around the full belly. This one I do quite a bit if I'm feeling anxious. If the belly stuff feels important, stay there. If not, open up your knees, push the soles of your feet and all of your toes together. Squeeze them, push them together, push them down, squeeze and tuck the pelvis and lift the pelvis 1 to 4 inches off the ground. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing for our tension and trauma release exercise. Now again, maybe you don't hold your stress in your legs and you're like, I don't need to do this. I need to do the upper body stuff or the belly stuff. Do that. Maybe you just need to do breathing. And then all the way back down. From there, I'm going to gently bring my knees together 1 inch, another inch, until I get to the point where they're vibrating, shaking, tremoring. I'm just going to let that be. I know in so many movement classes, we're used to being handheld and said, do this, then this, then this, because this is the way. It just doesn't work like that, especially when you're dealing with things like stress, anxiety, trauma, tension that's held in the body. You've got to sort of take some ownership, have some discernment and build some self-trust around what are the things that I and you need to do. And then we've got to just build some time in for you to practice those things. So I'm going to gift you 2 minutes without me talking. I'm going to be doing my own practice here. You can watch, you can follow along. 2 minutes of you doing what you need to do for 2 minutes. As many reps as you can get in, as much self-release, self-care as you can get in. 2 minutes. Go. Almost there. And then slowly quiet whatever you're doing. If you have it available to you, go ahead and lie down. Slide both legs straight. And stretch. Maybe it's right arm, maybe it's your left arm. And maybe with that, you're taking some inhales and exhales. Like you're yawning. Big pandiculation stretches. Then open your arms to the letter T and let your feet windshield wipe, right and left. You can kind of see that I'm just letting my legs shake, and that's shaking through my full body. I'm gonna move on now. We've been used to kind of shaking our arms, getting into that. This is another version. I give this version a lot in the studio, and this is the beginnings of how I would get into what I call floppy fish. So I'm gonna let my legs move, and you can see it's pretty organized right now, but as they go, if I really let go, they're gonna go through moments of extremely organized movement and then moments of chaos, sort of like a fish out of water. Think to yourself, adult temper tantrum. Can I allow my body to have a temper tantrum and then find its way back to some sort of organized rock? I give this even to my clients with spinal cord injuries. However, they can get into some version of floppy fish, which usually comes from their center. So any body can do this. And just sort of moving and temper tantrum. You can do it from on your side, on your belly, sitting in a chair, whatever works. It's just a full temper tantrum. And then back to some version of rock. Temper tantrum. And then relax. Temper tantrum. And then relax. Let yourself fully relax. If your body wants to keep moving, let it. If not, just be here for a moment. Let your body sink and soften. I feel kind of vibrating in my body. Take and roll over to your side and sit all the way up. Now, maybe for you, that version of unwinding or release will work. I'm now gonna up the ante a little bit, and I'm gonna teach you how I was first taught to shake off stress, reset my nervous system, and the big one, let go of physical tension. This next practice comes from John F. Barnes' version of myofascial release. And this is how we would get into what's called myofascial unwinding, or your body taking you spontaneously into positions of healing. So don't be surprised here. I have a quote in my practice. It's only silly to the ignorant. Again, it's only silly to the ignorant, because someone out there is going to go, that looks stupid. That looks ridiculous. It looks that way because your understanding of what's going on, it doesn't have the full understanding. Trust me when I say your body holds tension, stress, anxiety, and it wants to do this. And instead you're like this, and you're like, why are my shoulders so tense? It's because it wants to do this and you don't let it. Why are my legs so tense? It's because they want to kick and move and you don't let it, because you are adulting in the Western world. So with myofascial unwinding, what we're trying to do is release the hold, the grip, the what am I supposed to be doing? What is the posture supposed to look like? So if as we go through this, it's like, no, I don't want to do that. do the floppy fish, do the arm shake, do the movement. You could do seaweed spine or follow me here. It is best done if you have some really drum heavy music and to crank that music up. I'm not gonna do that today. We're just gonna have a moment. You're gonna sit in some version of like this and you're gonna start to flap your knees. Then I'm gonna start and I have my hands hit against my legs. Now, what we're doing really here is drum beating and keeping time. We could talk embryologically about drum beats and sort of where they come from, but I think if you look at any indigenous culture, if you really think about what is present, the bass in every single version of music there is, then you understand that we have a rhythm inside of us. And can I now just let my whole body begin to bounce? Maybe it wants to speed up. Now, this is where I have to stop talking and you either follow me along or do your own thing here. Just let it get bigger. Again, temper tantrum. Again, silly because a lot of us are ignorant to all of the stress we hold. And then let that quiet. Just be there with whatever you're sensing, noticing, or feeling now. That's why we always start off with, what am I noticing? And then letting it sort of go, what do I notice and feel like now? For me, I'm inclined now to go through some seaweed spine. It's harder to get into if we haven't done the nervous system work, if we haven't done some of the releasing of our holding patterns through our neck, through our shoulders, through our midsection, through our legs. If we haven't worked our way into some of that shaking off stress, like if you're someone who does the handshake thing, like so many of my initial clients do, which is sort of like this, it's like, that's not what's happening. We're literally shaking. So if you can't get into this, then that last exercise, of course, is above your pay grade right now. You have to practice to get in there. And the practice isn't about more doing, it's about more yielding. It's about letting go of some of that tension. It's about letting go of an expectation of what it means to be an adult, to be a human, to be in a human body, to self-care, what is appropriate to do, what is not appropriate to do, which leads us right into our final practices. So we're going to go back to orientation, looking and viewing in the room. That myofascial unwinding always makes me feel so good. Now, instead of noticing what's in the room, I want you to notice the spaciousness in the room. One of our initial practices here in Stress Reset. What could I walk through? Where is the room and the space open to me? And if you know the practice now, turn inside and look for spaciousness in your own body. How do I know what spaciousness feels like? Does it now feel different today than what it normally does? And you have to be able to notice spaciousness to notice, what does lack of spaciousness feel like in my body? What does the contraction, what does the holding pattern, where do I self-limit in my own body because I'm holding on so tightly? And I've got to be able to notice the spaciousness in order to notice where I'm not allowing my body to be spacious, which is its homeostasis. Spaciousness is where your body wants to go. So that conversation of, yeah, but this shoulder always wants to be tight. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. There is something inside of your system that feels more safe holding on to the tightness in the shoulder than letting it go. There's an alarming statistic. It's only something like 5 to 10% of everything that gets seen in a hospital is physiologically wrong, meaning there's no medical procedure for it. There's actually nothing physically wrong. Most of it is movement pattern, it's held stress, it's a body-mind connection, It's nervous system fatigue in an area. So you can have all the surgeries you want, but most of it is actually more mind-body connected. So where am I holding stress? Where am I holding on to? Where am I tethering into my experience because I think I need to squeeze there? It's so simple, not easy at all. It has to start with observing spaciousness. Then let's go into the practice that we did on Wednesday. It's your turn to fill in a blank. It's a sentence. This is a mindfulness practice from Psychological Fitness, the work of Dr. Mark Atkinson. I am, fill in the blank. What word comes up for you? I am what? Don't think about it too much. I am. I am weak. I am strong. I am late. I am annoyed. I'm in pain. I am happy. I'm so relaxed. What is it? I am, fill in the blank. And where in your body does that live? Notice, does it feel spacious? Does it feel not spacious? What is the expectation there? I should feel what? I should be, fill in the blank. I should be more happy. I should be more on time. I should be what? Fill in the blank. Here's a big one. Pick someone, anyone. Anyone who you find triggers you, anyone who you feel irritates you or stresses you, and think they should be what? They should be, fill in the blank. They should be nicer. They should be more patient. They should be thankful. They should be, what is it? Where does that live in your body? They should not be, fill in the blank. So the minute I say anything with they should not be, it's like lower gut. Like I don't even have anything to fill in the blank right now. It's like they should not be squeezed right in my lower gut. And so when someone is not those things, guess where I get stressed? And being able to notice that, I'm practiced in this. I noticed the nuance, right? Like it's not like squeezing a bicep or cramping in a calf muscle. It's like a subtle wave of your attention dropping into that or being pulled out of that, or the sensation shifts just enough. And then ask yourself, why am I holding on to that there? And what from today, what physical, because this is not now a mindset thing, right? Like, oh, my mind has a story and then it's held in my body somewhere. So now I have some very physical practices that I can go in and just sort of like, oh, you're okay. You're okay down there. So that when I am met with next time someone triggering me, I'm just going to say my boss. Next time my boss comes in and irritates me, stresses me, and I feel that gut thing happen, I can breathe into my belly. I can do some rubbing down here. I can take myself to the bathroom and do some breathing. I can take myself out to the car and do some of my nervous system work. I can breathe into that area. I can move through that area at home or in my office, wherever the case may be. And maybe, hopefully, undoubtedly, my body will begin to metabolize the physical stress and the mental story so that I can reset and stress less. That's what this class is all about. But it requires some consciousness. It requires some awareness, because today's practice was brought to us by John F. Barnes, one of my favorite mentors. And one of my favorite quotes from John F. Barnes is, without awareness, there is no choice. Without awareness, there is no choice. And in my book, choice equals freedom. So if I want to feel free, if I want to feel moved by life and be able to move freely through life, I've got to have choice, which requires awareness. We're just simply not taught that. Now you have some practices. So hopefully you enjoyed today's work. I thank you for coming. You did some really, really good work. Think to yourself, what's one or two things I'm going to take with me today and practice over the weekend and maybe even for the rest of my life. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you, James. That was wonderful. I feel all ready for my weekend now. Yay. I like your shirt.
It looks good, huh?
Yeah.
It looks good on camera.
Yeah, it really pops, that white. I love it. All right, you guys are all very welcome. If you have any class-specific questions, James is definitely here for you to answer them in more depth. If not, then we really appreciate that you were joining us today. And gosh, I can't believe just 2 weeks left now. Oh, the links. So we have all the links up now on the CommunityFIT website. They were just there this morning, so you can find them all. You can still email me if you'd like, but they are, let me write it in here. They are at choosewha.com/CommunityFIT.
Good.
Here we go. Love that quote about awareness.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorites. It's just so simple and true.
Awesome. All right, doesn't look like there's any questions. Oh, there's one in the Q&A. Let's see what it says over here. Oh, thank you. Great shirt indeed from Tanya.
Oh, thanks, Tanya.
Thank you, thank you. All right, have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next Tuesday for Move Lab.
Got it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.